What did you take away from their takeaway on the economy and the improvement we've seen so far?
So it was as expected. They upgraded yet again the outlook, and they didn't move on policy. And what I thought was really striking is the extent to which they reaffirmed their view that there hasn't been substantive progress since December. I disagree with that, but they said that. They absolutely are holding on with massive conviction to the view that inflation is transitory. I think you should have an open mind. We are starting to see significant structural shifts in both supply and demand that suggest it may not be a done deal, that it is transitory. So it is striking, John, how they basically sidestepped a lot of critical issues that they're going to have to think about very seriously this summer.
I'd like to read a line from you, Mohamed. They're your words, so let me repeat them for our audience. The Fed should seriously consider initiating a gradual and careful retreat. The longer it takes to do so, the harder it will be to pull off an eventual normalization. Do you think we're already starting to make a policy mistake?
I do. I think that the Bank of Canada is showing us the way. Remember, we are still in the we're not thinking about thinking. We're not even thinking. So we've got to get through we're not thinking about thinking. That's phase one. Phase two, this Fed is committed to give the market time before it actually tapers. Meanwhile, the economy is galloping ahead. And meanwhile, there are indications that suggest that maybe this inflation will not be transitory. So you've got to keep an open mind. I worry a little bit that they will fall behind, and then they'll be left with one of two choices, either letting the market do the heavy lifting for them, or alternatively, or even also slamming on the brakes.
I want to be really clear about what you're making an argument for right now, Mohamed. Are you arguing that asset purchases should be reduced, or that guidance should be changed, that the evolution around the language, the communication needs to shift? What is it?
So certainly guidance should change, certainly. And then I even think there's an argument to start tapering. I really do. And it's not, to be clear, this is for the well-being of the economy and the markets longer term. If the economy continues to evolve, as I think is going to evolve, and look at today's personal income numbers, look at the consumption numbers, every indication we're getting, hard and soft data, suggests that this economic recovery is accelerating. And the only thing that will get in its way is either a policy mistake or a market accident. So I'm trying to reduce the probability of a policy mistake on the monetary side that would frustrate everything else that's going on.
So, Mohamed, let's think about the difference between you and the Federal Reserve right now. What is it? 3 months? 6 months? How wide do you think the spread is? You're talking about a reduction of asset purchases right now. That could begin, arguably, at the end of the year. Is 7, 8, 9 months that big a deal?
It is a bigger deal when you have an economy accelerating the way it is, and when you have expectations that have been unanchored everywhere else. The notion that inflation expectation can stay anchored while all other policy expectations have been unanchored, about fiscal policy, about all sorts of things, right? So yes, it is 7 months is a long time. I do think that they will start thinking about it in the summer with a view to doing something at the end of the year. I just hope it's not too late.